Hello, this is Alex Day, and you're watching Lily Sky.
So I'm going to give you some tips on how to survive your first year of college. First of all, you have to be you times 1,000. I personally am a really introverted and shy person, and if you were asked someone who just met me to describe me in like a sentence, it would be like, she's quiet. But when I went into my freshman year of college, I took everyone's advice, especially my mom, and decided to be the most outgoing, obnoxious form of myself that I've ever been. You just have to realize that everyone else there knows no one or barely anyone, and they all want to make friends too because they probably are freaking out as much as you are. And if they're not going to be that person to come up and introduce themselves, then you have to be that person and come up and introduce yourself, because that's just what has to happen. And I promise it'll be worth it. It'll be worth all of the awkward situations, awkward hugs and conversations. Just be you, but way more outgoing. If you are going to school with a boyfriend or a best friend or a good friend, don't use them as a clutch. And also, probably don't follow your boyfriend or girlfriend to college, because everyone I know that has done that, their relationship has ended anyway. And if that wasn't like their first choice of school, like maybe they adapted to it, but they're like, oh, why did I go to this school just for that person when we're broken up now? But if you are deciding to go to school because of a best friend or because of a boyfriend or girlfriend, don't only hang out with only them, because who knows what could happen. You need to make new friends. You can't just go there and like hang on to the one person you came with or two people you came with. Most schools put on a lot of events for freshmen, like dances and like trips and stuff, and I suggest you go on all of them. They usually don't cost anything or that much. Like we had a boardwalk frolic and it was only like $25, $30, something like that. It wasn't that bad. And it was really fun, and you got to go, like, it was a lot cheaper than, like, the boardwalk usually is. You got to go on rides and play games and listen to music and just hang out with your new friends. And the dances are kind of cheesy, kind of like high school cheesy, but it's better than high school because you don't know anyone there, so you can just, like, dance like a fool and no one cares. I would suggest going to the dances even if you don't like school function dances, you prefer wild parties. They're still fun. If you're going in undeclared, try and figure out your major as soon as possible, because I wasted a lot of my freshman year taking classes that ended up being pretty useless to me because I thought they were going to be my major, but they weren't. I mean, you have to take some classes, I guess, to figure out your major, but try and figure out as soon as possible, because you are going to waste a lot of time that you could have spent towards the major. And if you don't know your major, just take general ed classes, because there's a lot of general eds, and you're gonna have to get those out of the way sometimes, so I guess you should do it your freshman year if you're undecided anyway. If you are on the quarter system, make sure you don't procrastinate, because the quarter system works like this. You get into a class, you get settled, bam, there's a midterm. Out of nowhere. You're just getting used to the class and you have to take a midterm. And then you're done with the midterm, bam, second midterm, bam, final. There's no time to relax. There's maybe like a week or 2 weeks to relax in the entire quarter, and if you get behind on reading or you get behind on material or you don't go to class, you're going to be screwed. And most classes only consist of like midterm grade, final grade, and maybe a second midterm grade, and so if you screw up on one of those, you're basically screwed the entire class. There's sometimes extra credit, but don't count on it, because I've only had one class with extra credit. Don't skip class, because even though it's really easy to, because a lot of classes are huge and a lot of professors don't take roll, it's usually really hard to understand a class if you don't go. Even if you do all the readings are confusing a lot of times, and if you don't go to class, you're probably not going to understand the material. Unless you're like one of those genius people that doesn't have to really try. If you like really can't go to a class, it's not a big deal, but try to go. If you are a freshman and you're living in the dorms and you're living on campus and you're eating in the dining halls, don't bring a car, because permits are really expensive and they're not worth it. Unless you're living off campus or you have a job off campus or you need a car, don't bring one, because it's just a hassle and you're not going to end up using it, like, at all. So yeah, those are some of my tips to have a great freshman year. If you have any questions or you want me to answer more things about my college experience so far, I'm going to be a junior in college this year at Santa Cruz. Loud truck going by. And I'll just wait. Okay, anyway, if you have any questions, just do a video response or comments or message, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. This sounds like a voicemail message. Bye!